All right, if we're going to look at adding or subtracting rational functions, then let's just have a quick review of how it works with fractions. And so if we're going to add these two fractions, they have the same denominator, and so we can instantly put them together. But if we have something like this, they don't have the same denominator. And so we can see that the lowest common denominator here is 7 times 5. And so we're going to need to change these into fractions that have 35 as a denominator. And the trick that we learned in high school was I'm going to multiply this one by 1. 1 doesn't change anything, but I'm going to write 1 that way. And I'm also going to multiply that one by 1, so I'm not going to change anything, but I'm going to choose to write 1 as 7 over 7. So when I do that, this becomes 5 over 35, and plus, and this becomes 14 over 35. And now they have the same denominator. And so I can put these together into one fraction. Okay, so with rational functions, it works the same way. I can't immediately put these together because they don't have the same denominator. What you're going to have to do to be able to work this out is you have to be able to factor. And we have to be able to recognize that that will factor as x plus 3 times x minus 3. So now, if I look at it this way, my lowest common denominator is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3. And if I can get all of the denominators to look like that, then everything will be fine. So there's nothing to change here. So I've just rewritten x squared minus 9 in this form. But now for this to have that denominator, I'm going to need to multiply that fraction by 1, and I'm going to choose to write 1 this time as x minus 3 over x minus 3. Obviously, x is not allowed to be 3 if I do that. And then for this guy, I'm going to multiply that fraction by 1, and I'm going to write 1 as x plus 3 over x plus 3. So now I'm going to have that. And up here I'm going to have 1 times x minus 3. And I'll have that. And up here I'm going to have 2 times all of that. So don't just say it's 2x plus 3. It's 2 times all of that, and put it in your put it in parentheses there. Okay, is what we want to do. And so now I'm going to put all these together. They now have the same denominator, so I can put them all together. So it's going to be this minus all of that. So make sure you either put it in parentheses or go ahead and negate every term. But if you just write down minus x minus 3 here without parentheses, it's going to be wrong. Then minus all of that. And so now I want to work this out. So this is going to become minus x plus 3. Then here I'm going to have minus 2x minus 6. So those are going to cancel, and I'm going to be left with negative x and minus 3. And I could leave it like that, that's correct. Or I could take the negative sign out the front. So I take the negative sign out the front, I have that, and then I do have cancellation. So I did that cancellation as long as x was not equal to negative 3. And so that would be my final answer. So the negative of 1 over x minus 3 or negative 1 over x minus 3. What about if I look at this guy? All right, the same thing here. We're going to need to factor. And if I see that, it's x squared. So two numbers that multiply together give me positive 1, but add up together to give me negative 2. Well, negative 1 and negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, and negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. So, what is my lowest common denominator going to be now? Well, I'm going to have x minus 1 multiplied twice, and then x plus 2. So all of the denominators are going to have to look like that for me to combine them. So let me get myself some space here. Alright, so to get this in the denominator, I'm going to need to multiply this by x plus 2 over x plus 2. This one I'm going to need to multiply by x minus 1 over x minus 1, then x plus 2 over x plus 2. And this one I'm going to need to multiply it by x minus 1 over x minus 1, and then again. So I'm going to have everything over the same denominator now. And so what will go here is x times x minus 2, so it's going to be x squared plus 2x. Then I'm going to have minus 2 times x minus 1 times x plus 2. So that'll be x squared plus x minus 2. Then I'm going to have plus 3 times x minus 1 times x minus 1, which will give me that. And then I just need to work all of these out. So I'm going to have x squared plus 2x, then minus 2x squared, minus 2x, and then plus 4, then plus 3x squared, minus 6x, plus 3. Okay, so I've got, these are my x squared terms. So 3x squared minus 2x squared is 1x squared, and x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. And then those cancel, and I'm left with minus 6x. And then I've got 4 plus 3. And so now, if I combine those, I will get that. There won't be any cancellation, because if I could factor that, I wouldn't have x as my first term in any of the factors, so I know that there won't be any cancellation there. And that concludes this video.